Good morning, everyone. Today is Sunday, August 3rd, and today is Group A guesstimates, where we go over the various YieldMax funds in Group A, and we just throw up a wild-ass guess, and we hope for the best. And also, we cover the weeklies, obviously. We'll go through them, and then we'll also go through some data that I have on those funds as well, and then do some Q&A. Of course, at the end, as always, when we go live. Staring at the Bitcoin chart, just getting an idea of what to expect Monday morning. I mean, what else are we going to look at, right? Looks like it's going up, though, since at least yesterday or late yesterday. So that's good, right? Going up. Let's go up, 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 up. Anyway, so before I start, just so you guys know, there is a distribution schedule on the YieldMax website, where you can find under the education tab. So if you scroll down, oh yeah, I didn't confirm the sound. If you guys can confirm the audio is working, okay, it looks like YouTube is working. If someone on X can please confirm the audio is working, that would be greatly appreciated. All right, so Group A declares this week, as we know, on August 6th. So that should be the Wednesday. They declare Wednesday morning at 6:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then ex-dividend date will be the following day on 8/7, and then payday will be the Friday. Of course, that's dependent on your brokerage. Thank you for confirming. Gravy rocks. So what does that mean? That means if you buy into any of the funds, any of the weeklies, any of the Group A's, by 8/6, trading day 8/6, and you hold it until 8/7, you will qualify for the distribution on 8/8. Simple as that, right? But don't make any decisions based on what my guesstimate is, because if you're seriously waiting, considering buying based on what they announced, then you still have the whole day, August 6th, to do that. All right. Again, this video is just for fun. You know that, but I'm just have to remind people, because All right. So let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. And we'll start with our boy, the legend, TSLY. What happened with them? Well, they got their ass kicked like everyone else, but actually not as bad. They hung in there. I had to refresh. Google Sheets is not behaving today, just so you guys know. So it may be a rough one. So let's get to the data. So before I pull up anything, struggling here. All right, let's go to this. All right, so there's a couple things I look at, which we'll get into on each fund. So TSLY, if we go to Group A, they did not make money. In fact, they lost a lot of money since 7/7 up into 8/1. All right. They lost 154 mil, actually. That's what at least the data is showing. Good Lord. So that's not going to help. Now, if we go to, obviously, this is the file that you're used to, we look at on a daily basis. This is kind of looking at, all right, what kind of synthetic bank we hold in here. We got about 33 cents per share. Now, that's not really going to make or break anything. And then we got IV, right? We got the new IV formula too, which is the 30-day IV shows 50%. The 7-day forward IV shows 54%. So that would be a 31 cent payment based on that. So again, going back to the spreadsheet, actually, I did not update. I need to put the new IV, the 7-day IV here. Oh, let me do that now. Let me do that on your dime, right? So we do implied volatility 7-day forward. Makes sense? All right, what the hell happened? All right, so where are we at? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There it is. All right, so we're gonna get that number, and we're gonna plug that in. So where's the formula? Here it is. No, it is right there. Massive formula, right? Copy that. Throw that in here. Boom. Ticker. We're gonna do no. Where's this? Where's the sell for Tesla? Where's the underlying? What the hell? H4. H4. There you go. Is that working? Let's see if it works. Everything's loading this morning, so that's just wonderful, isn't it? Loading. Okay, that's awesome. Loading. Great. Why is that not working? H18. Yep, it's still working. We're just updating the IV because we didn't do that yesterday. And then we'll get to the estimates. Yeah, this one, I guess I'll do it here. I'll fix it later. I don't know what's going to pull up, but all right. So here we go. Sorry. So what I give TSLY? Let me just unhide this. I gave them 33 cents. Now, that is a 57% guesstimate yield, which is in line with their IV, although you wouldn't know it because the IV is not updating. So, you know, it's also going to be, if this is the true payment, it's also going to be the lowest payment ever, which seems to be a trending thing lately. But so hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully it's higher. But again, there's nothing pointing to me that they're going to pay any more than 33 cents, which is a 57% yield. All right, up next is your boy OARK. Again, if we check out the group's value, we go to OARK. They actually made $1.44 per share during this period, so they did pretty good. Good job, OARK. And then we go here, and we can see they're making about, or they're holding about 15 cents per share in synthetic income, again, on paper. So they could always cash that out at any time. But the important number is 144. Price change, if we scroll to the right here, again, keep in mind this column, gains per share. They did go up a whopping 8 cents. So obviously that is not really going to help us. So let's unhide this up in her. And you can see that I give them 38 cents, which would be a 57% yield. Same yield as TSLY, actually, on the guesstimate side. So, we'll see. All right, up next is your boy GUI. And let's go. GUI and the group's value, they did not make money. They lost 444,000. If we go to the income per share, and again, this is based on the current synthetic position. They're at it's worth 69 cents per share. Again, this is on paper. Something to keep in mind. And then also the price change. I want to get that in the screen here. If we scroll to the right, they actually did make 66 cents per share. So far, they went up 66 cents per share in price. So I'm going to give them a 35% guesstimate, 35-cent guesstimate, which is also a 35% guesstimate yield. That's why I'm not skipping a beat here. So implied volatility shows to be, well, at least the 30-day IV, which is updating at least 28%. I think this spreadsheet's probably going to blow up one day. I got way too much going on. And so obviously the yield that I'm giving it is higher than the 30-day IV. Now, Zomo, how you doing? How you doing? Well, let's see. Zomo, where are we at here? Let's go to the group's value, and we go to Zomo, and they have a loss of 205 mil. Again, this is during the 4-week cycle, which I track on the Monday of the last declaration week, July 7th, all the way up to 8/1, which would have been the Friday. All right. Now, also, we have Zomo here. You can see this synthetic is worth 51 cents per share. Again, I'm not really going into any detail. I'm not really showing the synthetic, but it is up here in case someone has a question after the fact. We can look at it, but they are at 51 cents per share. Now, price movement for Zomo, we go over here. They move down 27 cents per share. So obviously that's not going to help anything. So for this week, I give Zomo a 28-cent guesstimate. That is not their lowest payment, and that would be a 29% yield. All right. Up next is your boy YBIT. YBIT. All right. So let's look at the group's value. Again, YBIT, I heard YieldMax recently talking, at least Jay, about that. They are surprised that YBIT is not more popular. Considering how popular Misty is, YBIT is like, chump change, right? YBIT is like, it's not getting the same exposure as Misty, right? So, and we'll take a look at what size the fund is in a second, but they actually, they made money. They made about 93 cents per share during this cycle. Now, the value of it is 143 mil. Yeah, 143 mil. So obviously, yes, that's very small compared to Misty, if you think about it. But again, their underlying is YBIT, right? YBIT is not as volatile as whatchamacallit, as MSTR. Actually, what's the IV on that? I assume I have YBIT as the underlying. I would hope so. In the beginning, it was BITO. I don't know if you guys remember that. Yeah, okay, so it's YBIT. All right, so YBIT's IV, 38. Wow, that's not bad, 38%. MSTR sitting around what, the 30 days around 50 or 60. So MSTR is higher. One thing I did notice too on YBIT, there is no put. There's no put on the synthetic side. There's just the call. So there is no downside exposure right now, which is good, actually, which is pretty good. So I don't know how long it's been like this, but I'm actually curious now because, again, if there was no put on Friday, ooh, nice, right? Then YBIT would have performed pretty decent on the Friday. I don't know if anyone knows that, but feel free to check. And the reason there is no put is because of there are holding limitations on YBIT right now. I believe it's 25,000 or so. So that's why they can't have the put, because between the two of them, they were over 25,000. So that's why there's no put. So I just thought that was interesting. I don't know if anyone else gives a crap, because a lot of people obviously don't hold YBIT, but again, I thought it was cool. All right, so income per share. Well, I'm kind of adding just the call, right? I'm just adding the call, which if you look, it's worth 65 freaking mil. The call is worth 65 million, okay? Which is a little ridiculous because there's no put, right? So if you divide that, that's actually right now, their synthetic's worth 487 per share. So I just have a feeling that YBIT is going to be the one that's going to shine, right? I'm not sure my guesstimate reflects that, honestly. So I may be making an update, but look at this. Look at that. I mean, I know it's on paper, but man, I think YBIT's going to shine. I think they want it to shine, and I think it will shine. We'll see. All right, I gave them 45 cents. Yeah, I'm probably going to boost that up just a little bit. All right, price change, though, it only went up 35 cents. So, again, what are they going to do? We're going to give it higher. We're going to give it, let's see what 55 cent. It looks like a 67% yield, which, again, they're at 1067. What's their last large payment? 86 cents. You know what? Yeah, so we got to boost this baby up. We got to give it. Again, there's always a shining star in each group, and it's not going to be TSLY this week. That is for damn sure. So I think it's going to be YBIT. And I don't know. What's a safe bet here? You got to be brash. You got to throw it out. Okay, that's in the 70s at least. I think that's a safe one. Could they pay $1? Maybe. I doubt it. But yeah, man, I don't know. All right. All right. Yeah, let's give them 61 cents. 61 cents would be a 74% yield. And that's a big raise from their last payment. So I think YBIT holders will be happy. Of course, I could be wrong. They could pay 38 cents again, but who the hell knows? Who knows? We'll find out soon, though. All right, up next is your boy Snowy. All right, they didn't make money. All right, no big deal. They lost 242,000. All right, whatevs. All right, what about their synthetic? How you doing? Well, scroll down here. Their synthetic's worth 41 cents per share. Wow, that's a whopper. That's really going to help the number. But let's see what I gave them. Again, they're SNOW-TSMY. They've been doing good. I gave them a 58% yield, which would be a 71-cent payment. Their last payment was suckety doodah. It was 47 cents. Their payment before that was $1.27. So I don't know. I just don't think they're going to pay 47 cents again. So I don't. Again, there are 30-day IVs not showing up because the spreadsheet is being mean to me. Price change, they went down $1, so that's not going to help things. So yeah, it's possible they'll pay 47 cents again. But again, this, it's the underlying is pretty volatile. So I would expect that they have been making some decent money. So I'd like to give them the 71 cents, right? How much is the fund worth? Wow, they went down to 15 bucks. Good Lord, man. Man, they're taking a beat down. All right. Actually, I'm going to have to lower this. Sorry, SNOW-TSMY holders, but you're going to get like in the 62-cent range. Yeah, it's going to have to be lower. All right. We'll leave it there. All right. Up next is your boy T to the S to the M to the Y. All right. TSLY, as they say. TSLY did make 306 per share. Again, this could be the shiner of the groups. 306, that's a lot of money for TSMY. If we go to their holdings, their synthetic is worth 39 cents per share. So that helps, right? That helps. Now, all right. So the bottom line is, what do we give them? All right. We gave them 91 cents. 91 cents is a 72% yield. It's also larger than the last payment by a decent amount. Their IV, their 7-day forward IV shows 38%. So 72% yield. That's high. That is super high. But man, what am I supposed to do? They're a $16 fund. You saw the group's value, man. They made 306 per share. Pay it out, right? Pay some out. Come on, Cletus. Come on. 91 cents, I think. What do you think? What do you think? Is that fair? Yeah, that's high. Wow. Now that I'm looking, I didn't look at the history yesterday. Good Lord. That'll be the highest payment ever. I guess I can't do it. I'm sorry again. Sometimes you do these guesstimates with children running around, getting into mischief, right? And you're getting up every 2 seconds, and we'll blame them, right? We'll blame them for that anyway. 81 cents, 64% yield. Yeah, we'll give them 81 cents. I think that's reasonable, right? Is that good? What do you think? I don't know. Who the hell knows? All right, up next, BRKC. Welcome, BRKC. They did pay last time. And they paid 50 cents. So let's go to the group's value. Are they making any money? Oh, wow. I didn't even add them. Interesting. Crap. It's going to screw up the outstanding shares. Yeah, it's going to go to the top. All right. So do I have any others I have to get through? Yeah, Robley. No, Crash. We'll do Crash, and then we'll do BRKC. All right. So Crash. Because again, it's going to go out of order. Once I add B, obviously it's going to go to the top, and everything else is going to move. What the hell is it going to say? Crash. How you doing? Well, they didn't make money. Okay, shocker. Let's go here. Their synthetic is worth 24 cents per share, so nothing too exciting there. And then you scroll to the right. How much did they make per share this cycle? They didn't. They went down 14 cents. So they're taking a beating. Again, they're inverse TSLY. I'm sure Friday helped them, though. But I'm going to give them 19 cents. That would be their lowest payment ever, and that would be a 53% yield. All right, so let's go to the group's value tab again. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to add BRKC. So I hit edit, and I got to go to my filters, open her, and we go to ETF, and we're going to check it off right there. There you go, and it adds it to the top. So see these numbers here now, they have to be deleted. But it's a positive amount, again, positive in my defining formula. Yes, it's a loss. I know people get confused with it, but again, I was trying to keep it as the same signage as when you do actual options on your brokerage. That's kind of the signage that you're used to. But anyway, no money to be had there, so that didn't really help anything. But let's go here. Here are the holdings. In case you're wondering, yes, it's a new fund. The underlying is BRK.B. Doesn't show the dot, but BRK.B. Yeah, so they sell calls on it, which is pretty sweet. And obviously, it's a smaller fund, 4.8 mil, $50 fund, blah, blah, blah. All right, so anyway, the synthetic is worth about 9 cents per share. Definitely going to need a freaking pee break. Drink too much water and coffee already. I'm going to have another sip of coffee. All right. Anyway, so this 9 cents per share is not going to really do anything. So let's see what we gave them. Oh, again, I don't remember. This is news to me too. Oh, wow, 71 cents. All right, so I gave them 71 cents. Oh, wow, a 30-day IV is updated. Thank you. Thank you, Google Sheets. I gave them their IV. I gave them a 19% yield, and that would be a 71-cent payment, which is larger than the 50 cents that they paid last time. But I believe, you know, being that there was a first payment, I don't think it was the full 4 weeks. So I think that was why, another reason it was kind of low. But yeah, I don't know why I have Robley blue, because they're not going to pay. There's no way. All right. If we go over here and we check the launch date, they launched on July 28th. All right. It's been 6 days. They've been active for 6 days. There's no way they're paying. I mean, there's no way that they're paying. If they pay, I'll do 300 push-ups on video this week. Deal? All right. So what do we got? What do we got? Nothing. We got nothing. Okay, 0. That's my guesstimate for Robley. That's the one that I'll get right. Robley, 0. All right. Now let's go to FEAT and FIVY. All right, smelly ass FEAT. Let's see how you doing. Well, FEAT over here, how's it doing? Well, again, what is FEAT? In case you guys don't know, it's the YieldMax fund that invests in the Dorsey Wright funds. Again, Dorsey Wright picks and chooses the best funds that are going to be doing the best, supposedly, whatever. The reason they opened this fund is, I guess people were asking YieldMax, can you give us like a YMax of only the best funds? So they decided, all right, let's open FEAT, and we'll let Dorsey Wright pick what they think are the best funds, at least out of the YieldMax selection, and then they'll rotate them in and out as they see fit. So that's basically the FEAT fund. So the FEAT fund currently holds Coney. I hope they didn't hold it last week, though. Yikes. But now I think it's a good holding because, again, it tanks so much. Like, I think it was for real, like overreaction. But what the hell do I know? So they got Coney, they got Sivney, the Carvana one. Again, I'm not a fan of that one. Hoey, I love Robinhood. Netflix for Netflix. I mean, you can't go wrong with Netflix, right? And then YBIT, can't go wrong with YBIT. So that averages to be, well, for whatever reason, Netflix IV is not updating. But the average IV without Netflix in there is 52%. And the yield on that would be $1.43. If you take the price of FEAT, you times it by 52%, and you divide it by 13 payments, that's what you get. You get $1.43. Is that good? I don't know. Let's see. Let's go to the file. What did I give them? Open her. Let's see. That's what I gave them, $1.43, which is a penny less than the last payment. So this actually does make sense for a guesstimate, at least to me. I mean, but what the hell do I know? All right, so let's go to FIVY. Again, what is FIVY? Same thing, same funds, right? Except they actually own a portion is the underlying as well. So they own the underlying. It's like almost half and half. I think it's 60-40, but they own those same funds, the 5 YieldMax ETFs, but then they add the 5 underlying ETFs. All right. So this one, it's a little more involved to calculate the IV. Again, even on this one, Netflix is not updating. Bitto's IV is not updating. It's just not an IV update kind of day. So we're just going to have to use whatever the heck this is, 57%. But Bitto, man, that should, I don't know what their IV is. It's probably around the 60s, to be honest. But whatever. We have 57%. So if we take, all right, so this formula is a little more complicated. Let me just show you what I do here. So I take 50. Well, first we calculate what the payment would be as if they own just YieldMax funds, and that would be $1.71. So now what do we do then? Well, then we calculate, all right, what percent is actually YieldMax funds? What percent of the holdings? 58% of the holdings are the YieldMax covered call ETFs. So you multiply 171 times 58%, and then you get a guesstimate of 99 cents. I don't know if I have do I have the formula here? Yeah, I do. So it looks like I give it a 110% multiplier, and I gave it $1.09, which is actually greater than the last payment. I don't think they're going to be greater than the last payment. I'm going to give them a 105% multiplier. Come on, man. Come on, man. All right, where'd it go? Where'd it go? There it goes. $1. It's still greater than the last payment. $1.04. I don't want to make it in the, I guess it will be in the 90. You know what? Sorry, it's going to be 99 or whatever the heck it was directly on the sheet. I got to stop hitting enter on the last row because that last cell is merged. All right, so we are going to give it 99 cents. That would be a 33% yield. By the way, FEATs would be 52% yield, which is based on the IV. All right, so that is the Group A guesstimates. Again, Group A is crowded because they got FEAT and FIVY, and now they got Robley. I was hoping Reddit would go to Group A, but, you know, Roblox is kind of popular. I mean, I know I have a freaking 9-year-old, but I just don't like it like Reddit. I think Reddit was going to be a much better, you know, much more volatile, much better, much more fun performer, much more popular fun too. But yeah, I don't know. Because who's the shine? Like, who's your favorite? You know, you guys are here live. We got 400. Wow, that's a low number. 424 usually on a Sunday. Group A doesn't get the crowd moving like Group D. But what's your favorite in Group A? People on X and people on YouTube. Is it TSLY? Is it SNOW-TSMY? Is it YieldMax? Is it Robley now, or is it FEAT and FIVY? I don't know. None, says Sour Kiss. Yeah, that's the feeling I'm getting, because a lot of people do not like Group A. There you go. Some love for BRKC. So that's a good one. Group A stinks. Yes, that seems to be the going trend here. None. Yep. SNOW-TSMY. A little love for SNOW-TSMY on X. There you go. Pistol Pete says TSLY. TSLY and FEAT and FIVY, says Wolf. Do you have to pick one? Well, clearly no, because everyone else says none. But TSLY crash is cheap. Yeah, it'll probably stay cheap though. And all right, so thank you for answering. But yeah, as you can see, there's not much excitement. I mean, you could see by the views right now, right? The views, we have the legends here, you know, the old school people who always join my videos. I appreciate it. But for Group D, oh my God, how many people do we have last week? I mean, too many, right? A lot. All right, you ready for the weeklies? Let's do it. All right, let's do YieldMax. I'm not even gonna waste. Although I do have the holdings now, just so you guys know, on YieldMax. I don't see. Yeah, they did not add BRKB or BRKC, whatever the heck it's called. It's not in there yet. Even though they made a payment and we're on the new cycle, it's probably going to be added soon to the funds. But yeah. So here's YieldMax. You can see the holdings again. I don't know if you guys want to look at anything, but we could probably look at the largest holdings. It doesn't matter. All right, anyway, let's go back. YieldMax, I gave them 16 cents. I mean, it's based on a ratio with Group D. I think I get, yeah, YMAG and YieldMax, I give them both 16 cents. It is based on a formula. I'm not going to get into that today because we went in detail on the others. So YieldMax last week, they paid 16. So this would be in line with the last week's payment. YieldMax's last week payment was 7 cents. But that was the MSFO week, so you can't really judge it by that. The week before that, it was 20 cents. And the week before that, it was 15. So it's really hard to judge it, but I think 16 cents is a reasonable figure. All right. So now we will look at L to the F to the G to the Y, and we could see. We'll just kind of kindly scroll through their holdings. Look at this sucker. Good Lord. Bitmine immersion, 133% IV. Welcome. All right. Let's see. Any other degenerates in here? Over 100% IV? Not really. Why aren't the IV? Oh, man. The IV. PayPal. What the hell? They have earnings or something. All right. Anyway, oh no, I guess PayPal's always in there. I'm thinking this is old. It's not. All right, average IV 70%. Guesstimate shows 48 cents. That's probably in range actually. So let's unhide this and we'll see what the guesstimate is. The guesstimate is 48 cents. The last payment is 47. So could it be a penny higher? Yeah, it could be. It could be. That's a 70% guesstimate yield, which is kind of in line with what they've been paying. So we'll see. We'll see. All right, GPTY is another fund. Again, we call this the safer version of LFGY kind of, because they got Apple, good old safe Apple with their 28% IV, Amazon with their 28% IV, and then we got all these suckers in between. Meta, Cash, Cash. You are not a fund, but their average IV is where we at? Oh my God, 48%. Guesstimate on that would be 42 cents. So if we go back here, let's unhide it. Is that what we gave them? No, we gave them a multiplier and we gave it 33 cents. Their last payment was 31, so this would be a slight increase, which, to be honest, I don't know if we can expect an increase, but I'm going to leave that in there because we already gave it an 80% multiplier. I'm not sure how much more you want. Again, I kind of rushed through these because they're simple. They're zero DTEs. They're based on the index. I'm going to give them SDTY 15 cents, QDTY 18 cents, RDTY 35 cents. And then we got Ulti, Alpenher. How you doing, Ulti? Well, Ulti is, very, very popular. Very, very, very popular. All right. So what are they holding? Actually, I'm interested too. So let's kind of go through this. Applied Optoelectronics. Okay. What is this? Periodically, this pops up on my screen. Again, I will never understand MacBooks, but I'll get there one day. So yeah, look at this name. Applied Optoelectronics. Okay. No IV. We'll never know the IV because it's not updated. AST Space Mobile, there you go. There's a degenerate right there, 103% IV. Bitmine Immersion, 133% IV. This was the one in LFGY. Coinbase, only 60%. I'm sure last week it was super volatile. Robinhood, okay. In IONQ, that's always volatile. That's 94% IV. What else they got? Oklo. Why is Oklo IV not updated? Palantir IV, 69%. That's not bad. 64%. Super Microcomputer. Gotta love their IV. 86%. Look at this. Upstart, 112%. What? Holy crap. They got UVIX in here. That's new. Wow. UVIX. That's 2x long the VIX. Oh boy. Oh boy. Doesn't show the IV, of course. I wish it would have, but whatever. Vertiv Holdings, it's 53% IV, and that's it. All right, so that's the end of it. The average IV Alpenher is 88%. All right, we'll take it. 88%. Let's see. 88% times the current price divided by 52 weeks is 10 cents still. Wow. All right, I don't think I have the formula for that. I don't. I plugged in 9. Because they dropped in price. They dropped. And they didn't drop that bad. You know what? I'm not going to. I guess I'll give them 10. I had them at 9. But I'll give them this 10. It shows 10. I'm going to trust it. So we'll give them 10 cents again. What were their last 3? 10, 10, and 10. So why not make it a perfect 10? So 10 cents. What do you think? What do you think, guys? Good? Yeah, anyway. All right, Chippity Doodah is the last one. Again, nerdy ass ETF right here. Owns all the nerdy chip companies, right? Of course, IVs aren't working, so, what can you do? AMD, all the chip. Broadcom. Broadcom always does good, man. QCOM, they got in there. Taiwan Semiconductor. And then we got freaking Texas Instruments. Again, old school. I think of the graphing calculators, like I said. But again, the IVs not working. Come on, man. What the hell? All right. We got the average IV at 42%, payment being 43. Is that what I gave them? I don't know, man. What the hell do I know? I gave them 34 cents. Their last three payments were 37, 37, and 41. Why did I lowball this so bad? All right, I'll give them a 90% multiplier. That would be 39 cents. That would be 2 cents below the last payment, and that would be a 38% yield. Okay. All right. All right, I think that's fair, right? By the way, the 10 cent on Ulti, that would be an 88% yield. That's amazing, amazing. Because again, people are now kind of relying on 10 cents on Ulti, so that's why I think they're going to pay it as long as they can. I mean, it's not like 9 cents would kill anyone, but you get what I'm saying, right? You get what I'm saying. All right, so that is the update on the guesstimates. I'm going to go through some stuff on my spreadsheet, but I actually have to take a bathroom break. Yes, I know it's pathetic, but I do. And I'm going to put some music on for you guys. All right. This says what? What do you think? Lo-fi? All right, that's what you get for it. Be right back. Okay, we are back. All right. What did I miss? Anything? Pre-record my singing. Yeah, I got yelled at yesterday by a few people. Said, stop singing. My voice is terrible. All right. So what I want to do right now, I want to go through every field in my spreadsheet, but I want to do it on one holding, right? So do you guys have a particular holding on my spreadsheet from any of the groups that you would like me to cover when explaining, the various field on the spreadsheet? Feel free on X or YouTube to comment now. I'll take a sip of coffee while you guys think about it. All right. Come on, people. Give me a fund. All right. Just name any damn fund at this point. There you go. AMSI. All right. So Wolf wins. AMSI. We're going to go down to AMSI. It's in Group D. All right. So, all right. AMSI. I just want to explain, again, this spreadsheet really is old. In fact, I should probably look at when it was created. It's old school. This thing has been around and it's been updated and beat up over time. But I think it's actually one of, my best spreadsheets because it has so much historical data that I rely on it like a lot. All right. But anyway, AMSI, obviously, it's the first thing you need to know is I separate the groups. So from the top, I have Group A, right? You'll see the headers, right? Group A, and then I have Group B in orange, Group C in green, Group D in like aqua or whatever, turquoise, whatever you call it. So obviously they're separated out, and then they're sorted by launch date. So AMSI launched on July 24th, 2023, which was after Appley. So they are the second fund that was ever launched on Group D. Again, they didn't have the groups back then, keep in mind. So they have been active 741 days to be exact. The house money percentage that they earn per day is 0.1%. Again, I can show you that calculation in a second. They launched, the formula is actually still working. I'm showing that they launched around $20.10. They have paid total distributions of $15.60. So if they paid 20.10 here, this house money percent would be 100. But since they only paid 15.60, we're showing that they paid 78% of their launch price, which is still pretty damn good. Again, they're 741 days in. So that's where we get the house money per day field, right? Because we take the house money kind of divided by the days that, since it launched. So that's, they basically have paid you your money back 0.1% per day. I mean, that's pretty good, right? Pretty damn good, if you ask me. All right. And again, the underlying stock, again, that's a field. Amazon, can you go wrong really with Amazon? No. I mean, who doesn't use freaking Amazon, right? Everyone, even old people use Amazon, right? Shout out to old people. But, they, although I'm pretty much in that bucket now of the old people, but yeah, man, everyone uses freaking Amazon. But anyway, this is the underlying name. This is a formula too, a Google formula. I rely on Google Sheets formula on anything that is available. And then I have the underlying price. So the price of Amazon, at least as of the close on Friday, looks to be $214.75. Their 52-week low, again, that's a field we track, 151. Their 52-week high is 242. All right, so this is just a percentage. How far away from the 52-week low are they? 69%. So since it's above 50, I'm showing that they're closer to their 52-week high than their 52-week low, if that makes sense. All right, so let's keep going. Implied volatility, obviously you guys know that field. The 30-day IV is 28%. Okay, great, whatever. The current stock price, the current ETF price is $14.88. Again, it's gone down, but again, they launched at 20, but they paid out $15. Keep that in mind. Their 52-week low, which they're approaching now, is $13.86. Their high is $21.18. So as you can see, they never really got that high in price. But you can see their 1-year spark line. Yeah, it's a little, it was solid. It was flat. Then it looks like it dropped. And then I have all of the payment months, right? It started in January of 2023, but only TSLY and OARK started then. So obviously, everyone else can have blanks, until a certain period. But their first payment was September of 2023. You can see it was 47 cents. And then we have every payment from there on out, 90 cents. Look at this one, $1.17. So yeah, $1.17 was their largest payment. And then their last payment was 64 cents. So you can see when they did the groups, that was here. And then it's called Weeklies 1. So here I had the years, and then here, I don't know why I stopped with the year. I went from September 23 to October actual. That's annoying. All right, but whatever, man. We'll fix that later. So what we'll do, we'll keep going, and we'll show you the other fields. So here, obviously, 12 will be the next payment they do. 12, this is the estimate column, increase at guesstimate accuracy. And then we have actual yield, which obviously it takes the latest payment that they made, right here, times it by 13, because there's 13 payments in a year, and divides it by the price of AMZ. Then we have guesstimate yield. You guys know what that is because it's based on my guesstimate. And then we have two IVs here. We have a 30-day IV, which shows 28%. Again, that's historical 30, last 30 days. And we have forward 7-day, which is 30%. Lowest distro ever for them, 36 cents. And then we have, the tracking now, again, of this past Monday, which if we go up, I should have that date up here. There you go, 7/28 this past Monday. New cycle, new 4-week cycle. They were 16.64. Obviously, it's been a rough week, so they're now down to 14.88. That is a $1.12 drop. That's brutal. So, and that kind of shows the gains per share percentage, and the recovery rate is going to be based on the last payment, how much they recovered of that. And then we have the average recovery rate. All this is kind of stupid, to be honest, but this actual yield, this is what I use to get the YieldMax guesstimate. So that is important, but the group recovery rate, to be honest, I don't really talk about that, and that's kind of pointless. But that's every field on my spreadsheet. So I hope that helped for anyone that was ever curious of what's going on here. So if you have any questions, let's hear it, baby. Let's go. All right, we got more now. People are starting to wake up. Again, I know it's early, but you know, get your ass up, man. You got to get moving. Go for a run. Go to the gym. I actually had a decent workout yesterday for once. It's just been like I've been I don't know, lazy, but you know, you get it. All right, so what do we got here? All right, any questions? Jimmy's always late, but good morning, Jimmy. Any questions, guys? What do you got? You want me to cover? You want me to look at any fund here? What else was I gonna do? Oh yeah, I could show you my pivots, which, you know, this shows the ranking. Oh, kids are up. The ranking of house money percentage. Misty's at an equal 200%, right? 200%, just simply based on distribution, right? So if you bought at launch and you collected the distribution in cash, you got paid back your amount, you know, 200%. So, all right. So brother says Ulti. So we kind of talked about Ulti already, though. But by the way, the value of the assets under management now are 2.5 billion. So they're growing. Obviously, they're about to catch Misty. Never thought I'd say that, but it's very possible, because what's happening is what, you know, since the markets, well, even before this drop on Friday, MSTR really hasn't been doing much, right? It's been just chilling. So people are getting mad since that's happening. The IV's dropping, and they're like, bro, Misty sucks, right? That's what they're all saying now. Wait, how the hell did you look at this? See, now it dropped to 9. I guess it rounds to 10. But anyway, that's I think a lot of money. Although I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Misty is still growing, though. The outstanding shares are still increasing. So I don't think at the same rate as Ulti. So it's going to be a close race. Not that they're in competition, because they're with the same company, but you get what I'm saying. All right. So again, if you're not familiar with Ulti, what do? Basically, they could do whatever the hell they want. And that's kind of how the prospectus is written. And that's why people love it, because most people that invest in Ulti, they're like, well, they're number one, they're degenerates probably, because they like the high volatility, they like the high yield, and they accept the risk. So why not? And then they pay YieldMax to do this for them, to do the trades for them. So what are they doing? Well, they buy the underlying. Okay, that's fine. And what do? All right, they sell calls, right? They sell covered calls. So this applied. Well, let's pick a fund that we actually know. There you go, Coinbase. So Coinbase, they bought, right? They have what? 394,500 shares. And then they sell calls on those shares, right? 330 and 335. Those are the strike prices that they choose. And they choose an expiration date 1 week out, right? I'm sure they can pick later weeks if they so choose to do so. But for the most part, I think they usually just do the 1 week out thing. But this is the game changer up in her. Why? Why is it a game changer? Well, guess why? Because freaking they're buying puts. All right. They're protecting the downside. And that is so important when you only invest in high implied volatility funds, because they could do anything, man. They could tank at any moment. In fact, what is the price of coin as we speak? I have it. Well, actually, I'll just go here and get it. So what the price of coin is, what, 314? Yeah, 314. Okay. So obviously 314 is well under their calls, so they're winning these calls, but they expire next week anyway, so they got all week. Now they bought a put. They bought a put at 290 though. The put from last week, I'm guessing that they bought, probably made a lot of money. We'll have to ask. You know what? Let's check the trades. Actually, I have it. Here, we'll go here. We'll go all the way down and we'll go here and we'll scroll up. All right, so we got YQQQ, we got my man, where's, there it is, U. All right, so we'll find coin C. Look at how many trades they do, man. This is nuts. So many trades. We'll get to the C's. Don't worry. There you go. They bought it. All right, there's a lot of coins. All right, so here it is. Sell put. Here it is. So they sold, again, they buy puts, right, in the beginning. They bought puts in the beginning of the week. You can see the expiration date, 8/1. So these are them. They sold them, and they made $8.2 million, right? Wow. Holy crap. And look at the put price, $350. I mean, that crap tanked well below $350, which made these puts, you know, super valuable. So this is, again, a reason to really love Ulti, because who the hell expected coin to do what it did last week, man? It freaking got destroyed. I mean, it got destroyed. So these puts, man, they helped. They really helped, you know, from us getting murdered on the downside. And why do we have downside exposure? Well, again, they hold the underlying, which is coin. Coin, when you own the underlying, you're going to go up and down with it. Of course, selling covered calls, you know, they're going to win too, right? Because they're, you know, when it goes down under the strike price, those are profitable. Those are probably almost 100% profitable. So then obviously, you know, so you have that, you have the downside, you're getting the credit for the premium on the covered calls, and then you're making money on the put at the same time, because again, it's tanking. But you know, again, it's offsetting the damage that what could have been. And, you know, last week is a prime example of why Ulti works. Because, again, they'll invest in coin. Why did they invest in coin last week? Well, probably because it has earnings. They love investing in funds that have earnings because the volatility is so sweet. So, again, this is just a great example of why buying puts just works. It just freaking works. I will gladly accept that expense on the put side. Pay it up. It was worth it last week, clearly. All right. So anyway, you know, again, Ulti, I'm not sure what else you guys want to see on Ulti, but that's pretty much, they pretty much play each fund similar. They don't have to. So some you may see, maybe there's no put. It all depends on what they think and what they feel, right? If they don't think a put is worth it, then maybe they won't buy it. But they have the flexibility to do, again, whatever the hell they want. So, you know, Ulti's still holding strong at $6. It's not 601. If they weren't buying puts, who the hell knows what this price would be, right? I don't know. I went on a little rant right there. But I think, you know, I'm an Ulti fan. Obviously, you guys know that. Obviously, I'm a Misty fan too. I don't think we have to pick between the two. But now let me catch up on the comments. I'm not sure who said Ulti. I think it was Brother, but hopefully that coverage was what you're looking for. All right. Anything else? Anything else we should cover today? We have 603 of you. This is on YouTube and X. Again, we're just going through. We did the guesstimates already. If start Hui, can we do an accurate house money? Well, if we go to Hui, again, Hui should be green. There it is. So here's Hui, right? What do you mean accurate? Are you saying my house money is not accurate? All right. Hui launched May 7th of this year, right? This year. It's been effective 88 days. They launched at 52.05. Are you saying that's wrong? I'm showing total distributions paid $16. I don't think that's wrong. Again, if we could go like this, double click it, it'll show you the formula, and I'll scroll to the right. It's picking up every single freaking distribution. They paid 330, 650, and 689. All right. So that's why we're showing a total of $16.70, which would make it 32% house money. All right, Rodell. So is that not inaccurate, or are you just asking for what the house money is? All right. Let me see. Caveman approve. All right, sweet. Mo money. You want to talk about Snowy? Oh boy. Oh boy. Well, we got Snowy over here. So what is Snowy doing? They got a $200 synthetic. What's the price of Snow? Again, Snow is the underlying of Snowy. Snow is at 205. So their synthetic is doing good. Let's look at their covered calls for the week. Their covered calls are 212.50, 215. Then they got credit call spreads. They bought calls there. So they only have 2 strikes, 212 and 215. They're out of the money, obviously, but not by a lot. And outside of that, they're just holding treasury bills and bonds and whatnot and some cash, just chilling. Nothing too exciting on this. Again, eventually, I'll add some stuff for the percentage house money to the left if needed, and then we'll go from there. But if you're wondering about maybe this information, we can kind of go through that real quick, like the launch date. Snowy launched when? June 11th of 2024. They have been effective. Wow, 418 days. Don't seem like that. I feel like that's pretty new. They launched at $20.51, and they have paid back $12.13. So they are at 59% house money, which is good. That's really good, actually, considering for them. All right, so that's a little bit of Snowy coverage. Hopefully that helped Mo money. All right, let's keep going. All right, what do we got? Everyone's talking amongst themselves. Oh, yeah, all good, man. All good. Can you do, what's this? Carl H. Can you do a house money with total return of share price? No. See, that involves just, you could, but I don't have it set up. It's just easier probably to use, certain websites for that total return. But I would have to, see that if you want to do total return, you have to know, again, it assumes dividend reinvestment, right? Total return. You have to know what date they paid it, what the price of the ETF was. So the drip knows how many shares you get. And that is a very complicated formula to do in here. So you have to rely on the computers to do that. Maybe like Bad Financial Decisions, Amy YieldMax website. Maybe she has it on there. So that may be a place. I don't know if she's probably not awake, but so she's probably not here. But if anyone uses her website, maybe they could chime in whether or not it has it. I don't know if this is for me. Do you do any chart reading when options trading? No, not really. Sometimes I pretend to. I do have, I use SMAs, like a 30-day, 50-day, 100-day. So do I look at them all the time? No, I don't. And should I? Yes, I should, but I don't. I'm not going to lie. I'm just catching up on the comments. This is a question for me. Does it alarm anyone that YieldMax keeps adding new funds? No, absolutely not. Again, why would, because this question comes up a lot. Like, they say, oh, you keep adding new funds, but what about the other funds, right? What about again, they're a company, right? They're growing. If they add new funds and they can't handle it with the current staff, they'll add employees. It's kind of how it works, right? So if they're adding new funds because they're growing and because the need is there, Go for it, man. Why not? I think title says, Mike Venuto talks about it all the time. They've been increasing their staff, as you know, as you can see, right? And you hear and look. I mean, obviously, everyone would quit if they just kept adding these funds and they didn't add to staff. There was no that staff would have been gone. They said, "Peace out. I'm not doing all these trades. You out of your mind." But no, man. I love new funds. In fact, I love it even more for YieldMax, because that's one of the funds I do appreciate a lot. YieldMax. All right, so let's go here. Friday was bad. How did the inverse funds do? Yeah, I didn't really track them. I did look at winter. I can tell you how winter did on the Friday. So on Friday, MSTR went down 8.77%. Misty went down 8.36%. Winter went up 3.69%. So no, winter did not go up what MSTR went down or MSTY went down. But they did go up at least. They did go up by 3.69%. So hopefully that helps. All right, let's go. Let's go. And I did that yesterday, Vladi. But I did really good. Well, I got a little greedy this week. I'm not going to lie. And I did make a decent amount. But where is it? Okay, options trading. Here's the file. I'll throw it up there for you guys. I'll just show you the weekly income. Not weekly, but yeah, for the week actually. I made $611 for the week, which was more than, which I think was my second highest for the year, weekly wise. My goal is 224, so I exceeded by 386. I made 12,181 so far for the year. Hopefully that helps. Okay, just catching up on the comments. Again, we are over an hour in. Is this a question for me? Any thoughts on how long this slump would last? No. I don't time the market, and I don't pretend to. So wow, there's a lot of comments. None from me, really. Just talking amongst each other. All right, guys, we are an hour and 3 in. People always bitch, right? These videos are too long. But again, we always, when you go live, you might as well do some Q&A at the end, right? Do you guys have anything else that I should cover? Oh, here's brother. Did a whole bunch of other comments come through? I don't know. All right, 2 questions from brother AB. How's medium rod? And did you get all 200 push-ups done? Good questions. Medium rod is driving me nuts, but he's doing well. Hopefully, he has a follow-up doctor's appointment this week. So hopefully things are healing as they should. So we'll find out then. And 200 push-ups kind of got disrupted that day because I ended up getting sick and taking a half day that day. But between the Thursday and the Friday, I did get the 200 in, if that matters. So yes. Thank you for the questions, by the way. Mo Money. We all get up early to be entertained by Rod and maybe listen to some of his singing. But really, for the inside of the funds, the ultimate goal for many of us is to be financially independent. Yes, it is. That's all it is, man. We're just here with the same goals. Doc does not like my singing, which kind of makes me want to sing. But lucky for him, I don't feel like it. All right. TC considers Social Security tipping money for now. And that's how, honestly, you should, right? You should not rely on that crap because it's a freaking joke, honestly, what they pay you on Social Security. All right, let's keep going. You should run away from anyone that says, yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe there's going to be people that are going to guess it right, right? And then they're going to look, oh, the smartest, right? And good for them. But, you know, at the same time, they're going to be wrong a lot. So who the hell knows, right? Who the hell knows? Whatever. That's why I always say I don't invest in the market, what I think the market is going to do. I invest in volatility in the market. Have a good day, Jeff. Thank you, Jimmy. All right. Sing some Van Halen. All right. Let's keep going through. Video question. Did she really take your money? If there was money to be taken, yeah, she would, right? Good morning, Scott. Is Scott here? I don't know. All right. So, all right, we're at the end, man. We're at the end, I think, right? Oh, there he is. As they say, Scotty Too Hottie, Sny, right? I hope he knows who Scott. You know who Scotty Too Hottie is, Scott? You should. He does the worm, right? Kevin says, does Thinkorswim have paper trading to learn more about options? Yes, they do. You'll see it like when you log in. I know it used to be there when you log in. You choose paper trading or live trading. But yes, they do. So that's the good part. However, I never tried it, so I don't know how it works. I assume it works the same, but I just don't use it because I'm not gonna care. If I use paper money, I'm not gonna care. It's like doing a fantasy football mock draft. It's like, you know, my friends do it all the time. I'm like, I don't care. I'll just wait till the live draft, you know, and then I'll care. All right. All right. Let's see. Yes, he is. About time, right? No, he's probably been here the whole time, making sure I cover everything, right? How is Jay doing, Scott? Jay is probably a very busy man. That's my guess. Yeah, we're here during the low vol. It's all right, man. It's all right. We got earnings season, so that helps. All right, I guess we're heading to the end. Does Scott have any questions for me? In Rob we trust. Yes. Yes, there can only be one. Who has that much work experience, right? At least he's running Misty and Ulti, so that's good, right? Oh, we got a question here. Rod, when you first started options, did you start on smaller stocks? Of course, because I couldn't afford crap. Or were you full degen from the start? No, I started with cheap-ass stocks, right? Cheap and volatile. And I lost a lot of money because I was stupid, right? But I wanted to learn, and sometimes that's the best way to learn when you have no money, right? You can make those mistakes when you have no money. And for me, that was the best case. So how much can I really lose if I'm a broke ass, right? So yes, I learned on like AMC, right? You know, I learned on, what was I trading? Pets, 1-800-PET-MEDS. You remember that? That thing was volatile because it was shorted to death. It turns out that company, I don't even know what happened with that company, but it's not good. What else was I trading? You know, a lot of crazy degenerate funds. But yeah, man, I was full degen from the beginning. In fact, I was full degen, then I chilled out, and now I'm back to medium degen. So yeah, Roddy Fund is coming soon. I just got to get someone to you know, front the money, right? And then we'll launch it. We'll launch it with whatchamacallit, title. All right. All right, retire abroad finance, gotta go. All right. Have a great Sunday. Rod, why did Coney fall so hard this week? I mean, you can guess. I don't know if that's a serious question, but if it is, just look at the underlying, please. All right, just look at the underlying. I'm not trying to be a, but that's pretty much it. All right, so I'm just catching up here. Paper trading couldn't keep me interested with real money in the, yeah, exactly. I mean, I couldn't do it. There's no point for me. What is your favorite ticker for options trading? It's a tie between TNA and it's these two. That's why I trade them, TNA and TSLL. I want to, when all's said and done, and the dust settles and I'm retired and I have a decent amount of money, I'm going to trade all the indexes, but not the indexes directly, the triple leverage indexes, and here they are. And of course, probably Tesla as long as I can through TSLL. So that's my plan. Right now, I'm only doing TNA and TSLL. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Coin missed earnings. Yes, they did by a lot, right? TNA said TNA. All right, let's keep going. Yeah, I don't know if it was like a 1-to-1. If I look here, look on the 7-day. I think I have the 7-day. God forbid it be freaking updated. Although this shows 8.2. Let me do -1. So 8.1. All right, so coin on the 7-day, coin went down 20%. Coney went down 19 point. So it beat it by 1%, if that matters. Coney beat coin, but it was a horrible week. I mean, it's, what can you do, man? What can you do? All right, we got a very active chat. I love it. When do you think Ulti will hit 3 billion? Oh my God, it's very soon. This week or next week, probably. The thing is nuts. But and Friday, it held up really good. It held up really good Friday. All right. Yeah. Doc, seriously, I mean, you gotta love it, man. They freaking, but I know the market knew they were gonna beat EPS. The analysts just didn't update their estimates, but they beat it by, well, at least more than what Grok thought, right? I know someone checked what Grok thought, and I don't know. It's just crazy, man. Exactly, Lansing Fish. So yeah, let me go hang out with my friends, play poker with no money. No, thank you. What the hell is the point? TNA always got my back. Yeah, hit the like button if you guys are having fun. Again, I know it's just kind of like boring now. We're just going through comments, but this is more so for the live crowd. The people that watch later, they're probably going to be clicked off by now. But if you're not and you're watching it later, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. But yeah, any last minute questions, or should we just wrap it up? Should we wrap it up? Call it a day. I may go live this week on X if you guys are interested. Probably on Tuesday after work on the drive home. No set agenda. Maybe just talk to you guys about whatever, because I haven't been on there in a while. And of course, Tina will be there helping on host the show, making sure you guys behave. All right, so don't mess with her. All right. What do we got here? Is that for me? John Messina, when you make enough money to retire, are you going to keep doing? Hell yes. I'm going to do this more. When I'm retired from my full-time job, I'm going to have an extra 50 hours during the week to do more YouTube stuff. I'll do more interviews. I'll do more coverage. I'll cover more funds, and I'll do a lot. This is going to be my job. After it is my job now. It's like I consider it a part-time job, but yeah, I'll be doing more of this. I'm already have plans to create the morning show with Rod. So what that'll be, again, we'll have guests. We'll probably run it during the opening bell. I don't know. I'm pretty excited about it, but I'm far from, hopefully not too far, but I feel like I'm far from retirement. All right, let's keep going. No, we appreciate you. We appreciate you. I think Scott left, by the way. Yeah, thanks, Scott. You come and go that quick. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna have to get Twitter. You don't have to. I'm always on YouTube anyway, so do the code. Yes, I know. I already downloaded the Calendly app. I'm going to put up 2 to 3 hour slots at some point, and offer it. I just have to think of a price, and I have to think of, I don't know. Again, it's just still so new to me, and you know, I have to get over the fact that people would actually want to pay to talk to me, right? To imagine that, because you don't think it's like, who the hell would pay this schmuck, right? Anyway, let's keep going. Let's read through the comments here. Yeah, we're still going, man. I'm supposed to go for a run. I'm gonna be done going live, but like, all right, I'm going upstairs, but I'm going for a run. Thank you, John. You're the man. You the man. I know, man. we gotta. I need more time, man. All right. Oh, he is here. Okay, he's just hiding. Thank you for being here, Scott. For real. For real. For real. For real. SGov. All right. Take us on the run. Yeah, I thought about that, but then my run would suck because I'd be out of breath, I'd be stopping. But no, I try to listen to other people, like spaces when I run. I never brought my phone, but now I'm kind of addicted to listening to like podcasts or YouTube channels when I'm running. I got to get a headset still. I just hold the phone. There you go. 50 push-ups. Good job, Vladi. Hell yeah. All right. We're going to work on that next week, by the way. If we go live one day, we're going to do a push-up day. In fact, maybe I'll do some push-up shorts like I did in the past. I got to get my ass moving. I'm supposed to be doing a Spartan race. Let's see. Live stream it. Yeah, man. Nobody wants to see that. Believe me. All right. I retire this year, so I'm going to keep fishing. Hey, nice. You think down the road you can cover the rec shares, growth, and income? Down the road? Sure. When I'm retired. I mean, I cover MS2 on the daily, kind of. But yeah, they want me to too, kind of. All right, I think we're done. Are we done? Are we done here? Yeah, we're done. All right. As always, guys, none of this is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and this video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, come back tomorrow. All right. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's the freaking Monday recap. Are we going live? Not sure. Not sure. Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But what else? I don't know. If you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments down below. But what else? What else we got? Keyword time. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you got to say the keyword. All right. Should the key, what's the keyword today? Is the keyword Scott? Should we make the keyword Scott since he's here? Or should we have Scott say the keyword? Unless he left. But what do you guys got for the keyword? All right, we made it. If you made it this far, it's an hour and 19 minutes. I mean, good Lord, this is ridiculous, right? But what do you guys think the keyword should be? All right. I think people are just arguing. Scotty too hotty. There you go. Perfect. Vladi's the man. All right. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it to me and you and Scott and Jay and whoever else wants to watch this, all the suckers out there, if you want to prove that you made it, you got to type in the comments, Scotty too hotty. All right. In case you don't know who that is. Right. He's one half of Too Cool. Remember Too Cool in wrestling? Come on. They had Rikishi, right? Doing the dances, right? Scotty too hotty did the worm. He had the big blonde hair sticking up. I think he's still alive. I know Brian Christopher's not. I I think Rikishi is too. But you all remember Rikishi. You have to remember Rikishi. But anyway, the keyword is Scotty to Hottie. But I'm out of here. I just want to say to all 765 of you, thank you for watching, whether it's on YouTube or X. And then anyone that watched later, I appreciate it. If you would like to help support this channel further, please share it with your friends and your family. If you want to share it on YouTube, you can. You can hit like a share or post, whatever it's called, and it'll post on your YouTube feed, and then others can see it. Or if you're on X, you can reshare the video that comes up, because the video does come up as a post on my profile. And again, that's a way to help support the channel. So would appreciate it if any of you are interested in doing that. Then we can grow, man. We can grow together. I'm out of here. Hope you guys have a good Sunday, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right. Peace.